Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back as we continue our dive into Unit 6. In our previous video, we talked about adding and subtracting polynomials as well as multiplying a monomial by a polynomial. Today, we're going to expand that idea into just multiplying polynomials together. So, we're going to start off just by looking at what do we need to do in order to multiply two binomials together. Now, this is a very important topic, so let's delve into it. So, what I'm going to do is the same exact idea as multiplying a monomial by a polynomial, but I'm just going to do it twice. So I'm going to double distribute. I'm going to take the 2x, I'm going to take each term from the first binomial and distribute it to the second binomial. Okay? So I'm going to double distribute. So what that looks like is I'm going to take 2x and I'm going to distribute it to the entire second binomial, x plus 5. And then I'm going to take plus 3 and distribute it to the entire second binomial, x plus 5. From here, it's just the same exact problems that we were doing in the previous video. I'm going to distribute 2x to both terms. So 2x times x, that's going to give me 2x squared. 2x times 5, that's going to give me plus 10x. And then I've also got to distribute this 3. So 3 times x is going to give me plus 3x. And 3 times 5 is going to give me plus 15. And what you'll notice here is you always want to look for like terms. And I have two like terms. Those two inner terms are both linear, so I need to combine those. So my final answer is going to be 2x squared plus 13x plus 15. That is all we're doing today. We're double distributing. All right, so looking at this second example, I am going to distribute the y from the first binomial to the entire second binomial. So I'm going to take y times 3y, so that's going to give me 3y squared. And I'm going to take y times 4, which is going to give me plus 4y. Then I also need to distribute that negative 2. So I'm going to take negative 2 times 3y, and that's going to give me minus 6y. I'm going to take negative 2 times 4, which is going to give me minus 8. So once again, notice we have like terms here. So my final answer is going to be 3y squared minus 2y, because I combined these like terms, and then minus 8. All right? Make sure you write down questions if that's not making sense and bring it up the next day when I see you in class. Let us move on then to applying this to a little bit of geometry. So I've got a patio in the shape of a triangle being built. The dimensions that are given to me, the 6x plus 4, this x minus 7, those are given in feet. So my units here are feet. I want to find the area of this patio. I want to find the expression that represents the area of the patio using this formula right here. The area is 1/2 times base times height. Well, I've got my base here, and I've got my height here. All I need to do is use those expressions and plug it in to the formula. So I've got area is equal to 1/2 base, which is 6x plus 4, that's what's representing the base, times the height, which is represented by x minus 7. So this looks very similar to what we were doing on the previous slide. I still need to multiply these two binomials together. So I need to distribute this. So first off, before I do that, I'm just going to drop this. Area is equal to 1/2. And now I'm going to simplify this multiplication. So I've got 6x times x, which is 6x squared. 6x times negative 7, which is minus 42x. 6x, So we distributed the 6x. Now we need to distribute the 4. So I got 4 times x, which is plus 4x. I got 4 times negative 7, which is minus 28. Once again, notice your like terms, so we need to combine those. So I got the area is equal to 1/2 6x squared minus 38x, combine those like terms, minus 28. And then last but not least, what I need to do is I need to distribute this half to everything. So I need to ask myself, what is half of 6x squared? Well, that's 3x squared. What's half of negative 38x? That's minus 19x. What's half of negative 28? Well, that's negative 14. So my area is being represented by this expression, 3x squared minus 19x minus 14 feet squared. All right, we're not really worried what the area actually is. We're not worried what x is. But if we were to figure out what x is and I wanted to find the area, all I would need to do is plug in that x into this area expression, and then I'd figure out what the actual area is. All right, so that's just applying what we're talking about today into some geometric concepts. I have two more examples for us to do. Today we are going to expand it just a little bit, and we're actually going to multiply a binomial by a trinomial here. So we're going to make it look a little bit different, maybe a little bit more challenging, but it is the same exact idea. I need to distribute the 6a to everything in this second trinomial, and the 5 to everything in that second trinomial. So I've got 6a, actually let me erase that underline for you. I got 6a times 2a squared, well, that's going to give me 12a cubed. I have 6a times negative 3a, which is going to give me minus 18a squared. And I've got 6a times negative 1, which is minus 6a. So I distributed the 6a. Now I need to distribute the 5. So I've got 5 times 2a squared, which is going to give me plus 10a squared. I've got 5 times negative 3a, which is minus 15a. And last but not least, I have 5 times negative 1, which is minus 5. So now I need to go through this and I need to combine like terms. I have no other a cubed, so it's just going to be 12a cubed. I've got an a squared there and an a squared here. So negative 18a squared plus 10a squared is going to give me minus 8a squared. I got minus 6a minus 15a. So negative 6a minus 15a is going to give me minus 21a. And then last but not least, I've got this minus 5. And that takes care of all the combining like terms. My final answer is in descending order. It's a standard form of a polynomial. We are good to go. So let's tackle our last problem. Same thing, but here the trinomial is first. And that's okay, because we're still going to do the same thing. Distribute the 4z squared to everything. So I got 4z squared times 3z, that's going to give me 12z cubed. I got 4z squared times 2, which is going to give me plus 8z squared. So now I need to take the 3z and distribute it. So I got 3z times 3z, which is going to give me plus 9z squared. And I got 3z times 2, which is going to give me plus 6z. And then last but not least, I need to distribute the 5. So I've got 5 times 3z, which is going to give me plus 15z. And I have 5 times 2, which is going to give me plus 10. So now just take a step back, combine those like terms. I only have one z cubed, so it's 12z cubed. I have a z squared there and a z squared there. So if I combine those, I'm going to get 17z squared. I've got a 6z plus 15z. So if I combine those, I'm going to get 21z. And then last but not least, I've got that constant term plus 10. So there we multiplied those two polynomials correctly. The big concept here, guys, ladies and gentlemen, is just to make sure when you multiply polynomials, you're distributing correctly. So make sure you're watching your positives and negatives. Make sure you watch those signs. And then at this step, always combine your like terms and write your polynomial in standard form. So that wraps up what I had planned today. In this video, make sure you have 4 you try nows. We'll go over those the next time I see you in class. Wrap those up, write any questions you got, and as always, be good, be safe, do some good. I'll see you all in class. Have a good one.